Hello, everybody. This is James from Praagh, and welcome to Life After Death and Beyond. I am joined tonight with my wonderful friend, Kellee White, fellow medium, therapist, friend extraordinaire. Hi,
Well,
Kellee.
thank you. Hi, James. So good to see you. Hi, everybody.
You're back in your office.
I'm back, baby, and better than ever.
Now, some might say our offices resemble each other.
Yes,
And
it's because I copied yours.
yes, we copied. I
I'll
think
admit it. I copied yours.
you sat here and actually said, I think I ought to be
I
like
did. That's exactly what happened. I was in your house in San Diego, and I go, I'll take that.
that.
And I had my
So
builders design it for me. That's the truth.
I love doing that. I love doing that sort of stuff, designing and all that sort of stuff.
So you're great at it, too.
I think I definitely had past lives where I designed things, no doubt about it, without a doubt. And I can, something that's really weird also. I don't know about you, but I know that I was a merchant in the lifetime, without a doubt, because I was in marketing and sales. I know the value of everything.
Okay, so I've been shopping with you how many times? Hundreds of times. And I'll go
I
to
know
buy
down to
something.
the dollar.
You know what I'm going to say? I'll go, I'm going to buy something. And then you'll go, how much is that? And then no, you're not going to buy it. No. You're getting ripped off. You're not going to pay for that much money for that. I know what it's worth. No,
Yeah.
You were definitely a merchant, the head of merchants. I don't know. Something about merchants.
I clothes, furniture. I just know the worth of things, the real worth.
Yep.
I even can tell feel material, and know it's not well, qualified.
Amazing.
Yeah, it just comes from, I think, life experiences of lifetimes of.
Yeah.
I think we gain. That analogy I used a couple of weeks ago, which I'll use again, which I think is fabulous. It's about the test tube. That this physical body is like a test tube, and each experience of those gold flicks we put in that test tube, and the more experience we have, the gold, it's more gold, more gold, more gold, and eventually, when we get older and older, and it's almost time to go back home, the top loosens, and when released from the physical body, sure, that gold go out to the universe where all the gold stars are, all the gold energy is.
That's a great one.
I love that one. So I think it was part of that gold flick, was part of my merchant experience.
I think so. My goodness.
And the funny thing is, being the psychic world now, and I think also you and I have studied this work in a lifetime.
No doubt.
This sort of the mystical lives and religious lives and so forth has to have happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've had past lives, I've seen it, where I was a monk transcribing in the middle of the night, and then a long hallway. It was freezing cold. And I remember the rocks, the pavement was it was all rocks. I was in a hallway. Oh yeah, I remember it so clearly.
Wow.
I've had several of those lifetimes. Yeah. And I just think that we gain and gain and gain these experiences over and over and over again.
Yeah, every lifetime it gets deeper and deeper.
It gets deeper and deeper. And I find that more one in this lifetime or whatever, just to say generally speaking, because this lifetime is just so quick, so a little bit compared to everything, the more one is open. And this goes with what we're going to talk about tonight, which is channeling. The more one is open to expansive, to grow, and to just discover and be open, the more they're able to receive.
Absolutely, James. And especially with the intention of that, setting that intention.
I so many students in my school, a lot of them are just, let me get it done, let's get it done.
Right.
Finish. Like, no, it's part of the development. Is really the work is the development of the courses, because that's really what it is experience of the development. That I gain most of my experience through the development. Most of my knowledge, most of my insights from those nuances in developing my power, if you will, the power of the spirit, power of the mind, opening up the power of the mind, learning that. So yes.
And there's no spiritual bypass. You can't bypass this process. It's a huge process.
You'll be bit in the ass.
Yeah, you certainly will be.
The more and more I live, and it's funny, I'm reading, I think I talked about it last week. Let me just see. I talked about this in my class too. It's Life Eternal. But
W.T. Steed, S-T-E-A-D, Life Eternal.
Steed wrote many books, one called The Blue Island. And it's very interesting because he was able to see his life, his death, and he knew he was going to die of the Titanic. And he actually wrote about it. Wow. He wrote about his death. And actually in the movie, The Titanic, he's in so I was with my friend, she's probably watching right now, Kirsty, my student of mine, and I'm talking to her in my class about this. And she has the book in front of her. She goes, oh, he's from my hometown.
That's amazing.
What? In a little town in England that he's from there. And he actually, the actual movie Titanic, the very last scene is a man and a woman are sitting in a chair at a fireplace. and they go back to the stateroom, and it was him because he knew he was going to die that way. So back to the stateroom and lay down in the bed, and that's the best.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. WT said
Story.
some great stuff. It talks about different spheres for self mastery, guides, controls, and so forth. So yeah. So I know tonight's we're talking about channeling. What do you think channeling is? Because what would your definition be?
Well, channeling is a process, where you're receiving messages or information or wisdom from another consciousness, a higher power. Sometimes it can be a spirit guide, sometimes it can be our higher self, or it can be another soul.
Yeah. I'm just trying to sit down with it. I'm just going to open up this book. I think it's probably here because it probably is. Yeah. So it is exactly right. It's channeling. So you're a channel. We're all channelers in our own right. Everything channels. We download, whether it comes from a higher self to the lower self. There are many different selves, but that inspiring energy comes down and inspires us and really takes us over, if you will, and motivates us to move, to do things, to say things, to make things, to create things, to, all creative work, I think, is inspiration. Everything is channels.
Right.
Everything is.
It's so interesting to me, James, because the connection that we make with spirit, it also, what it does is it helps us maintain our center in calm. It has an ability, because when you open up to spirit, you understand that this is larger than us. Things are larger than us. And there's help out there. There's answers. There's love. There's kindness. There's gratitude. And what it does is it centers us, even in the middle of chaos. So this is why it's so important.
It's true. And for my own self, it's I say it quite a lot because it's so hard to describe in words. But I find the more I have this relationship on a daily basis with that world, which is the real world. Every day I wake up, this is not the world. This is such a not a real world. That I have more of a respect. I have much more of a responsibility. I feel so much more like such a small little tiny thing compared to the grandiose of all of that. And it's like, wow, I've got to be so responsible for what I think. My words, my thoughts are thoughts. They see all of our thoughts. They communicate telepathically all the time. They see things with colors. They see things all the time. This one lady described, I'm working on a show right now, and the show is about near-death experiences. And this one lady described that when she had a near-death experience, she said, and the gardens were so beautiful. The flowers were gorgeous, trees, and the colors were beautiful. They were lit from the inside out. So that source of life, that luminosity is within everyone. And when you go out over to through the veil, you actually are able to see and witness that one light, which permeates everything and everyone. And it's the same light. It's not a different light for anyone. It's the same exact light. So we're really all the same. We're all the same, all degrees of that light. And how often are we willing to let that light shine? Right. Let out our light. And this lady also mentioned in this NDE that when we let others see our light, we are happy or say nice things, it helps them in some way. It kind of illuminates them. It kind of gives them permission to shine even more.
Wow, I love that. That's amazing. Wow.
For those kind words that we use, the compassion, the grace, the love, helping people, respecting people. It really makes a big difference for everyone we come in contact with. And then just think of the rippling effect. Then they talk to someone and they share their light with somebody else and open up someone else's light, and so forth and so on. And that's how we can make the world different. We look at the world such, chaos and crazy things. Well, let's start changing from the micro, start with ourselves and doing it that way, because it will work.
Well, and starting from our center out, and the whole point of any of this is really to deepen your connection to the spirit world, to the spirit realm, actually, to deepen that.
True. It's very, very true. A lot of people, like Esther Hicks, she channels. The people know her. Probably Jack Purcell was a wonderful channeler. Channeling energies, channeling spirits through. Edgar Casey, of course, just a channel. Most mediums are every medium are channel as well. I'm very aware when I channel, when I do mediumship. People often think there's a distinction between the two, but it really isn't. No. It's just different labels, if you will. There's different states of mediumship, a very light state and trance state and deeper state, and and so forth. So we thought today would be fun for everybody that later on in the evening, I was going to go into a light trance state and channeling. If you've seen us channel, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to put myself in an altered state, right?
Mhm.
So I was talking to Kellee about it, and we think that I'm going to go through what I've done many times, transfiguration. And what transfiguration is, it gets to such a point where the medium goes down to such a point, and there's ectoplasm, and I'm going to lower the lights down because it should be dimly lit. So you might be able to see a light sense of vapors around, and they'll build up. And soon I'll start putting the lights down because they're kind of bright. And you might see wisps of smoke, and a lot of and I'm aware of what's going on, but I might be. It's almost like being in a corner of the room, and you know what's going on, but you just let it happen. And I've so it won't be channel. If a channel, it might come out channeling. I'm not planning on it, but they might be planning on it. Some might come through. You've heard me channel before.
I haven't. It's really extraordinary, everybody. So transfiguration, when James does this, it brings a complete change or close to a big change of his form or his appearance. And he may look very beautiful or in a very spiritual state. It's very different because I've seen you do this and I've seen Tony Stockwell do it. And I think I saw you two together do this.
And I think did you see Mavis Patella do it
I
once?
did.
Yeah, I've seen many people. When I used to with Leslie Flint, I would actually see him before we went in the dark in this sand slide. He would change, and I've seen it with when I did work with Dr. Brian Weiss on past life regression. We used to do an exercise with this transfiguration would occur with people, and it's just really the spirit people are impressing their characteristics on the face of the medium. So you should look out for just changes in something in appearance. You might get a glimpse of someone who's Asian, or I don't know, someone of a different color,
or a female instead of a male.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
you never know what's going to come through. You'll see things change. Sometimes you'll see there'll be no head whatsoever, and like, I don't see a head, and all of a sudden the head comes back. It's the weirdest thing, but I just allow it, and then they work with that. So,
what's your process of doing this?
Well, I was just told to turn the lights down. So I'm going to turn the lights down because
Okay.
they're already here working. So they said we're setting up the room, the space for you. So
the first thing, everybody, was that he set the intention for this.
I set the intention all day today.
Yeah, we've been talking about this all day, so he's really, really excited about this.
I went earlier today and actually fell asleep.
Oh, wow.
It was a dream, and it was just a lovely dream.
Oh, good.
Because I was lying on flowers. So I just darkened it a little bit because, you know, and when I do this, I'll put the lights down, but you'll pay attention. I wore makeup so you can see it's kind of clear. Plus, probably excited to cover that.
Yeah, he's had a big weekend.
I've had a big weekend, yes. And I'm enjoying writing my autobiography. I'm almost done with the first chapter, and that's been
so really exciting.
It's been joyful, actually. It's really one of the most joyful books I've written, and I haven't written in a long time, but it's been very joyful. I'm now at the age when let's see what just happened. My mother was just talking to her mother and father at the end of the bed. They were dead, and I was in the other room, and I heard my mother talking to her mother and father, telling them things, and that's yeah. The one before that was my grandmother reading me tea leaves. Yeah, so. Childhood. We'll see what happens. Wow. When did you feel you channeled something, Kellee? When you were consciously aware that you were channeling? When you're writing your book, or when you?
Well, certainly when I was not the first time. Many times. The first time, James, was years ago. I remember being in a kitchen, and all of a sudden, everything started coming to me, and I started channeling some information. And it was a subtle thing, and it lasted quite some time. I was surprised. That was the first time, and it kind of took me by surprise. But I had been open to it. You know, I think that's part of it, is being open to it.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. I remember one of the when I used to bring a lot of people to Brazil. I was doing tours there with Ron Oyer, my friend Ron, you know, and it's very interesting. We went to one place. And Spiritism is a very big thing in Brazil. So Spiritism was created by Allan Kardec from France. and he went over there, and he mixed Christianity and spiritualism and made it
Ooh.
spiritism. So it's very Christian based, which I didn't really relate to. And but we went to a ceremony there, and everyone's mediumistic in Brazil. It seems everybody. I told you that story at a book signing once, and this guy goes, "My friend has a gift for you," and I said, "Yes." And the friend goes, because he apported a flower. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
what do I do with that? I'm not going to touch it. So anyway, but they're very, very spiritual, very, very much in the mediumship. And I was invited to sit at a table in front of the room. And many times they'll have spiritism meetings. There's a big table in the front, and there are mediums there, and they'll go through different situations, channeling or what would happen. And I had never done this before. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden I was kind of unconscious. I wasn't aware. And I know something was coming out of my mouth, and I wasn't aware of what I was saying. But later on, the man who was the head of this gathering. He said to my friend Ron, "Do you know he's doing this?" Poor Ron.
Poor Ron.
I've never seen him do this before in my life.
Ron's from Iowa, everybody.
That's far boy. And it was an Arabic dialect I was speaking, coming through.
Wow.
Arabic, yeah, an Arabic dialect.
Wow.
And when I used to sit in development circle, I still have this on a cassette tape. One of my guides, Golden Feather, came through, and we have a which we're going to do one day. We're going to do the table tipping. I still have that table, and I remember, and we recorded all of it. And all of a sudden, the table is playing it, and all people are in the development circle sitting there, and it sounds like a tom tom. And then Golden Feather came through me, and it was amazing. Had a prayer and a song, and it sounded nothing like me. And it was just amazing. It was just an amazing experience for everybody in the room.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
this is so amazing, James.
So yeah, I've channeled. We channel all the time, but I'm very aware of it when I'm writing my books, and I'm very aware of it when I've heard a spirit one said to me, and Leslie Flint saying, I said, "We come next to you, and it's as if we pick up your fingers and we write through you." And they do. They work through us. They really do. We are just the instruments. All of us are just instruments of the Great Spirit, and that's really what it is. So really, everybody, start thinking that you're part of the Great Spirit. You're just a small part of the greatness of everything.
Well, Mary Snyder says that she was with you and Dr. Brian Weiss on the cruise when you guys did Transfiguration. She said it was amazing, and it was 25 years ago.
Wow. Yes, time goes by. Oh yes.
Wow.
Yeah, a friend of my friend Peter just showed me pictures of myself. He says, "I have some surprises for him." I go, "No." And it was some cruises we did years and years ago, 25, 30 years ago, in Caribbean, Alaska.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not going to do the Tahiti next year. I've decided not to. It's twice expensive, so no, I'm not going to do that.
We've done that.
We've done that. Been there, done that. So yeah. So let's see. Any questions people have so far of things?
Well, let's see. How do you learn to write and let your guides kind of guide your fingers?
Oh, that's great. So I was just holding my glasses off. I'm going to. So first of all, in order to write well, it's putting yourself in an altered state of consciousness. So letting yourself relax. Again, I'm gonna push this again for the 15,000th time I talk about it. But I have a room behind me that's right behind that door over there. And that's my closet. And I sit in that closet every day. And I sit for 15, 20 minutes, and I sit in the quiet. And I sit in the stillness of my being. The soul is very, very loud, right? So I sit there, and it's a passive meditation where I just breathe. I become aware of breathing in through the nose and count to 4. Well, you do box breath, right, Kellee? It's box breathing. In through 4, hold 4, then out.
Hold 4, yeah.
Out. So like box breathing. And then you just let yourself just go naturally, breathe naturally, and just let yourself breathe, and that's all you do. And eventually, you might start with a monkey brain, of course, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to have a dinner tonight." And that's fine. You'll have that and just acknowledge it and let it go. Don't hold on, just to let it go. And eventually it gets to a point where you just sit and you're relaxed. And each time you get it, progressively gets better and better, and that it gets more intense. And that you'll sit, you'll get very quiet. And all of a sudden you'll start feeling yourself from the inside out. I don't know how I could describe it. And it's through that space you become very relaxed, and you become very aware of yourself as a soul, and you become very aware of the space around you. Be very, very aware of the spaces around that and expansiveness and expansiveness. And then become aware of beings that are closer to you, and you can sense or feel them in it's a very subtle way. And it's through the space of sitting in an alternate state of consciousness, letting the mind relax. It's letting the mind relax to such a point where it's at ease. It's at ease. And then if you want to then, after you've mastered that, sitting in that at ease space, and you want to sit and channel your guides or anyone to come through, you can sit with a pen and paper and start writing things, and just let yourself write. Don't think about it. Just write, and you'll be amazed what happens.
Right.
And different guides, wisdom, wise beings will come through. Last time we did this podcast, I said to Kellee, I think it was last week when we did this, and I said afterwards, these beings of wisdom came to me.
Yes.
I think it was your mom. I think it was your mom and other beings around.
That's right.
And I think they called themselves, we don't call ourselves the guides, we'll call ourselves the specialists. Because each being comes to your beings will come to each soul for a particular reason, for special talent, if you will, to bring forth a special talent, to help enlighten and bring forth that talent within you. So you might have a philosopher, you might have someone who's a kind of a therapist guy like Kellee, someone who does philosophy work, therapy work. You might have a healer there. You might have a joy guide. All different types of beings, specialists. And I thought about doing that too. I thought one day I should channel a specialist.
Oh my gosh, you should. Dory asked a question, James. She says, how do you get over the fear that you will not be in control during channeling?
There is no control, first of all. So there is no control. You don't have control. You have no control over people. You can't control what people are going to do. You can't control what they're going to say. The only thing you have control is how you're going to respond. So that's a very human thing, control, because the spirit world's pure love. There was nothing but love. I don't know how to tell you this, but that might come from a background of religion, background, about being possessed and things like that. I don't know. It doesn't happen when you're in a space of love, and you're living a life of love, and you're in that vibration, that frequency. That's all that comes to me. That's all that attracts me. Anything else can't get through because of that vibration, that frequency is so high. How else can I describe it? It's too much. It's like walking to a room and it's too bright. The light's too bright. Same thing with energy. So when one sustains that vibration, that frequency with their mind waves, the brain waves, and what they give out and how they live, then that's what you attract to you. Like attracts like. What you're having in your life right now are situations that you've attracted to you based upon what you thought, what you've said. Also, lessons that you have to learn. There are lessons that you have to learn, but it's very interesting, Kellee, when you can decide for the lessons and also the responses of your thoughts, of if I can say responses, karma, whatever you want to call it. Repeating it comes back to you. What you give out, you get back. So I find it so fun when things happen. Oh, is this something I put out earlier in my life? Is it coming back now?
Right.
Or is it something that is just I'm learning a lesson? And that's where my mind goes. What is a lesson? And then if it's something really heavy duty, like, okay, what is the lesson I'm learning here? What is the universe trying to show me? So, for instance, my friend Jordy, who just hurt herself with her leg. Remember, she's been up for 3 or 4 weeks. And she said, the universe taught me this. I said, yes. It'll tell you to stop and slow down if you don't do it yourself. The universe will stop you. So those big lessons, like, what am I being taught here? What is my lesson? So it's either a lesson or it's something I'm responding of what you put out. That's what I think.
I completely agree with that, James. I find myself when I'm in a situation asking, what karma lesson am I learning? Or what did I put out? Or where am I with this? Instead of going into a negative place, I don't go into a negative place. I just want to have an understanding of what or how this is working and to make really good decisions as I go forward with it. But you start thinking in a responsible way at this point.
Yeah, and you have to, I think, instead of being negative, oh God,
right.
What am I learning from this?
What am I learning? Yeah.
Haven't
I learned this yet? I guess not.
I mean, I might learn patience, boy, patience. I guess I'm about to learn patience. Like, whoa. I'll call Kelly. I said, Kelly, really?
Yeah.
Where are we?
Didn't we learn this already? I could
God.
swear we've done this before.
What time is it now? No, it is.
Okay, so it's about
All right,
about
so I'm gonna
30
do-
after.
let me just transfer my stuff and get my stuff ready here. All right.
Okay. So while you do that,
Yeah.
while James is getting ready for this, well, I'll answer a few questions. Dory says, "Yes, I am a recovering Catholic." Oh. Well, everybody, we're in a whole new shift right now with two different. The nodes are different.
What does that mean?
Well, the North Node is now in Vedic astrology in Aquarius, and the South Node is in Leo. So when we make a big shift like this, everybody will have new lessons to learn and new ways to view things. So it's a big deal. It has a lot to do with humanity, this period.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to sit quietly now. And so just so everybody knows, and thanks for your energy, Kelly, because you're giving me a lot of energy here, and so is everybody else. Yes, Pro, you can come in if you want. No, stay out there. Okay. And just so you know what's going on here is they just said to me, calm down. All right, I'm calmed down. All right. And then what's going to happen is that I'm just very aware of beings around me. And I'm just going to bring myself into a space where I just, if you can see me, make sure the camera's close enough.
See you. Yep.
Okay. So, and pay particular attention to what happens. My head might change, my face will change. Hopefully, you might see certain things. So just write down or mention it. And Renee, our producer, is going to come on too, and you'll see what happens as it'll take me a little bit to go under. So I'm going to go down a little bit trance-wise in an altered state. And I'll go down a little bit. You'll see me go down. It's like symbionic state.
Okay.
And I'll go down, and then we'll see what happens. And I'll be aware of what's going on, but it's kind of like in a different room. So.
And well, it won't bother you if I'm talking or if Renee and I
No,
talk.
no,
It
no,
won't
not at
talk
all.
at all. It
I'm
won't
not even
bother
paying,
you.
I'm not even
Okay.
paying attention.
Okay.
Sorry,
good.
Kelly,
No,
but
that's good.
they will be with me. See, they're getting stronger. I'm feeling them over me now.
I can feel them over you.
They're over me, and there's beings here with again cloths on with robes. So all right, I'm gonna go under now. Okay, they're ready. Okay, good night. See you later. Bye.
All right, bye. So everybody will watch this as James goes under. You can feel James going deeper and deeper. There's Renee with us. You can see James's face starting to change.
And I think also for the people at home, if you see any changes, feel free to write it in the comments. What are you observing? Maybe even what are you sensing? Is there something that comes up for you? Just let it all come out and please share.
Sherry says her body is hot and tingling watching James. Powerful energy. Yeah, Michelle said she can see his face changing. Yes. Oh, it's definitely changing. Mm-hmm. Yes, Michelle, it's absolutely a good sign that you're getting more spiritually aligned.
hear me cry, I am, do you hear me? Hear me, do you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm trying to speak to you. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Trying to speak to you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Victoria here. Victoria here. Victoria is here with you tonight to speak to you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Maddie, I want to speak to you, Victoria. Yeah. We come in a circle of light to be with all of our friends here. You are among many, many who share your passion, share your love for doing these things. Conditions must be right for all of these things to occur in your world. As you speak, this lady here, you are correct when you speak about the expansion of the mind into the spaces in which you live. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We must not take time for granted. Time is very much a part of, can you say, sand that goes through your hands. And you must take valuable moments in your life and to live accordingly. You understand?
Yes, we understand.
Yep.
They tell me you need to know me. 1860s. I lived in your life. Yes, Richmond area. Richmond, Virginia. Yes. I don't remember. Yes. Hold on, please. And many want to say hello. Be patient for us, please. We want you to experience everything you can.
Yes.
To bring you much joy and much love to everyone here who comes to visit this week after week to these lovely beings. All of you should look within yourselves to find that brilliance which you are speaking of. We are here to assist you in every way and to bring all of your thoughts to the higher levels, not the human conditions, all those higher parts of yourself which exist. You don't have to look outside yourself, but within yourself, and you will find them within yourself. You just have to be willing to look and to search that way and not to question yourself. While you have lived eternally, you don't live and not live and live. You're living all the time and live the best you can. Yes.
Yes, his mannerisms are changing.
Seems like several personalities come through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Several people,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even from different eras.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy, my name is Tommy. My name is Tommy. Can you hear me, Tommy?
Yes, we can hear you, Tommy.
I didn't hear in life. I couldn't hear. I was deaf when I was boy. I'm 9 years old there. Not over here, though. I read many books. I go to schools, too. I grew up over here, but I was 9 years old, and I did not hear, but I'm able to hear over there, where I live a nice big house in the country. I want to look and see you, and they told me to come in, so I just wanted to say hello. I'm Tommy.
Tommy, where did you live in the country? What state?
I don't know where I live. trees. They say I live the mountains. Dakota. Ah.
Seems like Tommy is leaving again.
And you can see his forehead changing.
Yeah.
Mr. Gage, you can hear me very well. Can you understand me?
Yes.
My name is Garrison, and I am one of the inspirers for this group tonight. I come every week longer to help you all for the conditions we talk about this inspiration. If you would all open up to this more, we help you. I am one of the many helpers here. My name is Garrison, and I come and I help you. I am a good friend, I guess you would say, of Mr. Harold, just a guide helping the medium vessel. We called many things here, but your world is so different than ours. Vast, you see. Our world is very vast, and it's sometimes very difficult to get back to this world of yours because it's a bit finite compared to ours. But we appreciate all the work you do in bringing this awareness to your world. And please continue. And then later, you need to write much more books to help people in the mind and the body, in the conditions in which they find themselves. Or you can do this, you see. And you're not doing this alone. Of course, your mother is here, but there are many here who look for you to write for them. We need to work the vocal cords of the medium and make sure things are out of the way in order to come through this way. And we work very, very closely with all of you, even though you may not be aware that we are with you. There's a certain group of us here who are dedicated each week to come here and help you to, if you could, inspire and to influence you and in a way overshadow you with these new thoughts and truths. And the young lady here named Maggie, is here. Also a good big fan of your work here. Many fans, I guess you'd call them, appreciations of your work here. And please remember me kindly and warmly to all of your listeners and viewers here. You'll find that this world, your world, will change very soon in different ways of telecommunications will happen, and things will happen very instantly. But don't lose hope in who you are. Stay who you are, and don't let yourself get caught up in all these miseries of your world. Things will work out the way they're divinely meant, you see. And you have to keep yourself in a loving and positive way, no matter the conditions of your world. We are going to go now and lower this situation for lowering the power, use some power for them. And for you this evening, we will let the medium rest. And all of you, we wish you a fond farewell and thank you for being a part of this. And we hope to come back many other times.
Thank you, Garrison. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you
very much. We appreciate your wisdom. And you can see James's face and his body right now. That was a really tremendous wisdom here and everything. And so let's see, James. Well, it takes a few minutes for him to come out of this.
Yeah.
This was a huge,
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's a huge undertaking because he brought in many masters here.
Yeah.
Everybody got to witness a real experience.
Right up my eyes.
Wow.
Oh, there you are, honey.
Yeah, it's kind of bright.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm back.
Everybody, you're back.
Kind of. I need
Wow,
some.
James. I mean, I took a lot of notes.
Did
Yeah,
you? Good. I don't
I
remember
did.
everything. I remember a little boy was coming in.
Mm.
I remember a little boy was deaf. I remember he wanted to say he was deaf. I remember that. But I think there were a lot of people around.
There was a lot. A man named Garrison came through.
Garrison. Yeah.
And he was an inspirer. He said he's an inspirer. He's a guide. He's helps mediums, and he helps our group. And he does it for the he wants the group to come. He comes through the group to influence our thoughts, to expand our minds.
It'll take a little bit to get back, but yeah, that's wow. I remember a little bit of that. Yeah, a little bit.
And the first one was like a woman who had come through.
Yeah. Okay.
And she said 1860 Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, that I don't remember. 1860 Richmond, Virginia. Did you get her name?
I don't think we got her name.
I'd like to look her up, but that's just me. That's the human part of me. I've done that before.
But you know what she said, James? She said, do not take time for granted. It's the first thing out of her mouth. Do not take time for granted. And your face was constantly evolving.
Changes in my face? Anyone notice any difference?
Oh, everybody saw it. Everybody saw it.
Clearly see the difference there in your face when you change personality. Your whole face and your energy changed. And what I noticed, it was actually very reassuring to me. In the beginning, I was like, oh, this is a little bit scary, or this is so different, because I think most people have not ever experienced this. So, but when you then just let that mind stuff go and you're just present with what is, then actually I found it a very peaceful energy behind it.
Totally.
It trance work, and I just went, I think, to a light, maybe a little darker, deeper than I thought, but trance is very relaxing, and it's really, really, I can say, because I went to sleep today, I had a little nap, and I fell into a dream state, and I fell asleep within 5 minutes, and I went under quickly. I think that maybe has something to do with it, but I felt very, very relaxed.
So they were already preparing you, James.
Yeah.
Early on. And her name was Victoria, the first one.
Victoria. Okay, never heard of her. Okay.
But everybody, they talked about the group and how grateful they were for the work.
It felt very crowded, Kelly. Yeah. It felt really crowded. I mean, it felt very crowded. I mean, right before I went there, I felt like robes coming around me, and I just felt people coming closer and closer and closer. And everybody
was getting the chills, James. All of us. Yeah. Everybody was so involved. You could feel the energy.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Very special.
And the voices were changing.
Yeah.
everything was changing. Your face, everything.
I have to rewatch it. It just shows we're all just vessels. But yeah, it was. I just felt I don't know how to describe it, like in a deep sleep. But I was aware. It's almost like in a dream state. You're aware of like you're having a dream, and you remember parts of the dream. I guess you could say it that way.
Wow, James. Wow. It'll be interesting to see if you
I can't wait to rewatch it.
Watch it, and then I wonder what will happen tonight when you sleep. And you may have some more. You had a standing room of spirits around you.
Well, I got to say, the feeling I had was, if I could describe it at all, and one feeling was gratitude. I felt an overwhelming sense of spirit, having a lot of gratitude for us for doing this and for doing this type of work, and for bringing this awareness to many millions of people and everybody that was on this podcast, that they're important. Every single person here has a responsibility. Wow. And it felt like that they wanted to give them, they had gratitude and thank you for that.
Yeah, and they wanted everybody to know that they are with us.
Why do we worry about other people?
So true. It really was incredible, James.
I mean, we got to realize that there's no death. We're only worried about other people because we're worried about ourselves. Something within ourselves is not fully into wholeness of being. They're alive. There's no death. So why do we worry about it? Sorry, Kelly. I just saw a comment. It drew me to that. But
no. I didn't. Yeah, that people had asked about being worried, and there was nothing to be worried about.
Such a waste, like you said, that lady talked about time or something. It's so much, think of all the time that we waste with worrying. We have such valuable time, and we use it to worry. and we could use that energy to feel good, for positive rippling effects. And
Absolutely. Well, we talked about that when we did a show, I think it was last week, on spirit messages on part 1 or part 2. And,
yeah,
one of the big messages that I always get is worry less. Don't worry, please. It all works out.
it all works out.
You know.
Even when you think it doesn't, it's like,
Mhm.
I was a couple of days ago, I was like, whoa. And then I woke up this morning feeling great. And like, things always work out. Things will always work out. We've gotten by thus far. We'll always get by. They always have our hands. As long as you do the right thing, you don't hurt someone.
Right.
That's really important. And like we talked about when we started, I think we talked about responsibility for your words and your thoughts. And like I talked about it when we first started, I think the NDE thing, that it's really important that we know that our thoughts are seen, that they're very
Right.
real.
Right.
Be careful
Very
what you
much. And that we're not alone. We're never alone. It's
we're
not
never
possible.
alone.
We
No,
have guides, abundance of guides around to help us.
yeah, it's always going to be good. There's only love. The world is a wonky world, but it's a school. It's a
Right.
school, and there are going to be some very hard lessons and subjects, and some really teachers that we don't like, and and
Right.
and
Teachers we don't like. They could be
yeah,
family members. I mean,
and
who knows?
but it really, when someone's really bad,
Yeah.
it should push us to be better. It should push us to be good.
Yeah.
When as bad as someone is, then we should got to be better. We got to be better then. And I always find if we put somebody down, we can acknowledge someone's, bad. But I always find that even with forgiveness, when you go down, I hate that person. You're lowering yourself to that level.
So
So don't do
totally.
that.
You
Right?
can't do it. You can't do it. James, everybody is loving this. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
good.
Amazing. My
That-
face tingled while you channeled. I saw a council of spirits beings in my
Did you?
mind's
I hope you
eye.
saw things, everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's everybody so wonderful. Thank you so much, James.
Oh, you're
Victoria, oh, that's funny. Reminded me of Victoria reminding us about time was important. That was important. They were all important messages that you
I didn't know
brought
anyone
in.
was going to speak. I was just going to do a little transfiguration, but I
Oh, I
guess
think Spirit had
I think I'm
another thing
waiting
in
to do it,
mind.
and it can knock you out. I mean, it makes me tired. So I
Yeah.
will. I mean, I
You
will
go
sleep.
rest, drink a lot of water because it takes a
Yeah,
lot of electricity out of your
yeah,
system.
yeah. Drink some water.
But,
Yeah.
and really, James, thank you so much. That was just extraordinary. And also, James, you have
Wednesday night.
so let's talk about that
Yeah.
this
So
Wednesday.
I'm 8 spots left in my Maui retreat, and the only retreat I'm doing all year, believe me. And it's a soul retreat, and it's with my good friend who's become a good friend, great
Mhm.
teacher. She teaches all over the world on yoga and flow and Pilates. We did it today. It was amazing. And she takes parts of the body. She does poses with when you hold on a certain, and Kelly, there's certain muscles in the body hold on to traumas.
Yeah, she does somatic work, and it's really quite extraordinary.
Pieces of that.
Mhm.
And then I do stuff with the spirit. And Wednesday night, we're going to do like a little preview. So we're going to have some exercise for the mind, releasing traumas, past experiences from your mind that you're holding on to. It's about worry. And so we're going to do that Wednesday night. She's going to do I'm going to do body work. I'm going to do spirit work as well, intuition work. So you have to sign up for it. It's free, but you just got to register. That's all. So there is the link is how you register. The link is right.
Oh, good. On June 4th, yeah, the link is up there. Okay, you'll talk about the soul retreat in Maui.
In Maui, it's going to be in July, and we have 8 places left, taking over a whole retreat center.
And it's the Lumeria Retreat Center.
Lumeria Retreat. That's
which is
exactly
it should
right.
be exciting and
And
wonderful.
I'll probably do again. I think I'm going to probably do a trance demonstration when the spirit night.
I bet you get Lumerians when you do that.
I just feel, funny, Kelly. I've never really wanted to do much trance, but lately it's coming really strong to start
What do you
doing
think that is?
I don't know if I had to get to a certain place of
Maybe.
acceptance, of surrender, of receptivity, of expansion, of power. I don't know.
Well, also the information is really very important now. Like now is the time.
Yeah. So I think that it's high vibrational information.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
I think that's needed right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might be doing more of that. So maybe I'll probably Maui. I'll do a trance night with that with the night of spirit.
Oh, I think that would be extraordinary.
So that Wednesday night, everybody, if you want to go, the link is there if you want to join it.
Wow.
Free. And Kellee, you're doing something as
I
well.
do. I have the Game of Life, the retreat in Burbank, California, June 20th to 23rd. It's with Dr. Shirley and Pellizzari and Carrie Gonia. And Shirley is going to be talking about shadow work and also attachment theory, and also looking at somatically and giving us all kinds of experiences with releasing trauma. So we're going to talk about that. And Carrie's going to be doing family constellation for everybody.
For me, and it was phenomenal, everyone.
It was phenomenal, right? And then and I'm going to be talking about moving us from our karma into our dharma, which is really why we're here, everybody. Let's learn our lessons now. So please join us. It's going to be, we just also have a few spots left. So please join us. It's going to be really extraordinary.
Well, like someone said, I don't have transportation. Just say, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'll get there. Put it that way.
That's a good way to say it.
Not or can't.
Yes.
That's that vocabulary.
Yes.
Find a new way of looking at it. Thanks.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, James.
Thanks,
thank you, everybody. Thank you, Renee.
Hey, good night, everyone.
See you next week.